Picture this: a quiet suburban street where every lawn is perfect and every day feels the same. Here lives Marley, a retired librarian in his 60s. His life is a series of precise, lonely routines, a world he shares only with his ancient tabby cat, Chewie. Chewie is 19, frail and wheezing, but he's been Marley's constant companion since his wife Ellen passed away. Their daily walk, with Chewie nestled in a wicker basket, is a sacred ritual. One day, this routine leads them to the local pet store. Inside, Marley barely notices Skylar, a 17-year-old foster kid trying to disappear inside her hoodie. She's all dark clothes and defensive posture. Marley is focused on his mission, getting special food for his old warrior, Chewie. But suddenly, the old cat gets agitated and tumbles out of his basket, wobbling towards the employees-only door. Worried, Marley follows him into the back alley, and that's where their two worlds collide. In the gritty alley, Chewie has wandered up to a chain-link fence. On the other side is Rocky, a massive, scarred rescue dog, trembling in a makeshift pen. Skylar bursts out, panicked. She's been hiding Rocky here. The shelter was full, and he's on his last chance. He's traumatized, food aggressive, and jumps at shadows. Another failed evaluation, and he'll be put down. Everyone holds their breath as the frail cat and the broken dog face each other through the fence. But instead of aggression, Rocky gives a low, uncertain whine, and Chewie, with the courage of old age, sits down and starts to purr. It's a sound like a rusty engine turning over, and then something amazing happens. Rocky slowly wags his tail. Marley is stunned. Skylar, defensive but vulnerable, explains Rocky's situation. Marley sees past her tough exterior, recognizing a shared desire to protect something precious. He sees the way her hand grips the fence, a silent testament to how much she cares. A quiet understanding begins to form between the lonely widower and the guarded teen. Back in Marley's silent house, a museum of memories of his late wife, the loneliness is palpable. He tenderly gives Chewie his medicine, a daily ritual filled with sorrow. Meanwhile, Skylar tries to connect with Rocky, walking him late at night when the streets are empty, sharing her meager food in her temporary foster room. Two separate worlds, both steeped in a quiet sadness. A week later, Marley happens to walk by the alley again. He finds Skylar trying to get a trembling Rocky to take a treat. Marley asks if they can visit. Skylar, wary, nods. Chewie gets out of his basket and walks right up to the fence. Rocky comes over, his tail giving that same tentative wag. Then Chewie does something extraordinary. He reaches a paw through the fence and gently touches Rocky's scarred nose. The big dog lets out a deep sigh and lies down, pressing his head against the wire. Skylar whispers that Rocky has never let anything touch his face. Marley tells her about his wife, how she used to say Chewie had a talent for seeing the heart of things. The moment is broken when Skylar reveals Rocky's final evaluation is the next day. If he fails, he's gone. Her eyes say everything. The evaluation is a disaster. In the sterile shelter room, surrounded by strangers, Rocky shuts down. He growls at another dog, fear taking over. Watching from a window, Skylar's face crumbles. She has failed him. Later that day, she shows up at Marley's door, red-eyed, with Rocky on a leash. He failed. He's scheduled to be put down tomorrow. Marley doesn't hesitate. He simply calls Chewie. The old cat appears, assesses the massive, sad dog, and then turns and walks into the living room, as if to say, well, come on then. Skylar unclips Rocky's leash. The dog enters the unfamiliar house, tense and uncertain. He sees Chewie hop onto the couch. He approaches, lowers his head, and then it happens again. Chewie's rusty engine perfills the silence. A profound peace settles over Rocky, and he lies down at the foot of the couch. Skylar whispers how Marley looks at the two broken creatures who have found solace in each other and says, sometimes the most broken things recognize each other. And just like that, the silent house comes alive. Rocky sleeps with Chewie curled against his back. Skylar helps Marley in the garden. Marley teaches her to make his wife's famous meatloaf. They eat together at the dinner table. It's a strange, patched-together group, but it feels like family. The silence is replaced by the sounds of life, but life is also about loss. The inevitable day comes when Marley has to say goodbye to his brave friend. At the vet's office, with tears streaming down his face, he holds Chewie one last time. "It's all right, my brave friend," he whispers. "You can rest. Tell Ellen I'm okay." In the backyard, they hold a small funeral under the old oak tree. Marley is adrift again, the silence in the house now a gaping wound. Skylar takes his hand. "What do I do now?" she asks. "I can't just leave you here alone," but she's not asking to leave. She's asking to stay. A few weeks later, Marley finds himself back at the animal shelter. His eyes land on a scrawny, one-eared tabby kitten hiding in the back of its cage. Their eyes meet. Back at the house, Marley opens the carrier. The terrified kitten slinks out. Rocky, lying on the rug, lifts his head and gives a soft woof of greeting. He then does the most incredible thing. He rolls onto his back, exposing his belly in the ultimate sign of trust. The little kitten slowly approaches, sniffs the giant dog's nose, and curls up in the curve of his belly. Marley smiles, a true, warm smile. He looks at a photo of Ellen and Chewie on the mantel. Through the window, he sees Skylar coming up the path, carrying groceries. She's moved into the spare room. She's not just a visitor anymore, she's home. Marley opens the door, and the warm, golden evening light spills in, filling the house, not with memories of a life that was, but with the promise of a life that is just beginning. Because sometimes, family isn't what you're born into. It's the lonely, broken, and beautiful souls you choose to hold on to along the way. Thank you for watching.